Hey guys, welcome to Sip and Sit. I'm your host Aaliyah.
And I'm Brooke. Let's get in the episode. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Sip and Sit.
Woo!
We're so glad that you guys are here. Thank you for clicking on our episode. What are we going to be talking about today, Aaliyah?
We are going to be telling our love stories.
Woo!
Yeah.
These are going to be long, so buckle up, grab your drink. Let's just get right into the sip of the day.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Okay, so today I have the Outlaw, which is usually what I get, but it is Dr. Pepper, coconut, vanilla, and coconut cream.
Guys, it's literally
So
so good.
good.
Oh my gosh. So, station, please sponsor.
Yeah, please.
Please.
We love you guys.
I love you. Cheers. I got the Rope the Wind. I normally, if I'm not getting the Outlaw, I get this one. It is Sprite, coconut cream, peach, and pineapple, I think.
Yeah, it's
So good, guys.
Such
It
a
is
good summer drink.
no, literally so refreshing. But
Yeah.
cheers. Okay, so we're not going to waste any time. Really quick, how was this last week, Aaliyah?
It was good. Honey has still been a little crazy.
She's a little cray
Yeah,
girl.
she's actually here now, but she's in a crate right now at Brooke's house.
She was just curious. She's a little puppy.
Yeah,
It's
she's just
okay.
a puppy. She did knock over the camera and our lights and everything. It was pretty funny.
I was like coming down the stairs and I hear this like crash and I'm like, that's not good. But it was funny.
It was cute.
Yeah.
She hung out with Brooke's dog Choco.
Yes,
It was
Choco
cute.
was a little rude at first just because he's a little protective. But they're
They're
little
friends now.
buddies.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yes.
But yeah,
Cool.
my week has just been working and hanging out with Honey.
Good.
It was Jake's birthday and we had a good birthday dinner. And
How was Carver's?
it was
Gotta
so
update the
good.
people.
Yeah, Carver's was good. I actually didn't get a stomachache this time, which I usually get a stomachache like every
Wow.
time. And
Good
I
job.
ate so much meat, but it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's so good
It
there.
was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Good. I like it.
Yeah. How was your week though?
It was great. Just working on all my content stuff, nothing new.
I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. Last weekend I watched a couple of my little girls that I like hanging out with, so watched them overnight. Super fun. And then Monday night, when she was at Carver's, I was at Bible study.
Yeah, tell us about Bible study and what we'll be
Yeah.
starting.
Okay. So we are studying the attributes of God,
Yeah.
and it was really good. We just did the introduction. We're on like day 3. Did you get your book yet?
No, I need to go to
Okay.
the church and go get it.
I'll be at the church today if you want me to pick it up,
Yeah,
and I
you
can
should,
just
you
give it to you
should.
tomorrow.
Yeah, you should.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I'll do that. But yeah, we just started on it. It's been really good. We'll fill you more in next week when like we did the full week. But
Yeah.
so that's kind of been my week, just hanging out.
Cool.
But yeah, let's just get right into it. Aaliyah, do you want to go first?
I think you should go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh
You
gosh.
should go first.
All right. Well, everyone, buckle up. This is a long. This is a long one. Also, we've had a couple requests to make our videos longer.
We have.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
was
that.
gonna tell you that earlier and I forgot. So yeah, people are liking it, which thank you guys so much for all your feedback.
Yay!
We really appreciate it. So yeah, comment down below in our YouTube videos, Spotify, anything that you can, and let us know what kind of videos you guys want to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like
people are wanting them to be a little bit longer.
Cute.
So we're gonna try to do an hour.
today?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
If not, it's
I feel
okay.
like this one will be.
I think so too.
we'll be
Or
good.
maybe even a little bit over an hour. All right, guys. So this one is a lot, but it's my love story and I love
good
it.
story.
So let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
Starting off in 2019, end of our freshman year, I get a DM from this boy. And I knew his name. I've known of him, but I didn't know him. And he had asked me, "Hey, you do photography, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I was just kind of starting to get into photography.
Yeah.
And so I like messaged him back, and I was actually in like a little like situationship, not really. It was like a 2-week fling.
Yeah.
But like I was being respectful. And I was just like, "Yeah, I do photography. Are you in need of it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually going to need my senior pictures taken at the end of the summer." I was like, "Oh, sweet. Like let's get that scheduled." So, and again, like I was pretty brand new at this, so I wasn't like super good at it yet, but yeah, so he started talking to me a little bit more and I was kind of ghosting him a little bit. I would kind of more short with him just because I was talking to this other guy.
Yeah.
And so then there was just one day where I came to the realization that the guy that I was talking to was never going to work out ever.
Yeah.
And so I totally ghosted him and then just started talking to Sterling. And Sterling, he is like 2 grades above us. So when I was a freshman, he was a junior. So, obviously. But that's
Yeah.
when we met, I guess. But yeah, so I started talking to this boy. It was super fun. We literally just hit it off right away. I felt like I could talk to him for hours. Like, when you first talk to someone and like you're up till like 3 a.m. just like asking questions. I miss that.
That's
Like
so
that's
fun.
so
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, so we just started talking. I did not tell my parents because I was 15 at this time and I knew I wasn't going to be able to date until I was 16. Which, guys, I'm just going to say it right now. Literally don't lie to your parents. Trust me. You're going to know why, but just like don't lie to your parents. Be open and honest about everything with them because
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I could have literally saved myself from so much heartache. And so I'm just going to say that right off the bat. But yeah, so I didn't tell my parents about him because he was on my brother's baseball team. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I knew him. He was on my brother's baseball team. He was my brother's friend. And yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like my brother's friend likes me and all this stuff. And so the more we talked, the more I just literally was like falling in love with him. Like, I
Yeah.
know that sounds crazy to say, but like, oh my gosh, I just remember the feeling. So, then like a month into talking, he and my older brother were having a sleepover after one of their baseball tournaments. And like, oh my gosh, I hadn't even ever seen him really in person before this. Like we just would text and snap and stuff. And so this night was the night that like Stranger Things season 2 came out. And so we all came downstairs and
Like you, Bo, and Sterling.
yeah,
Your
me,
brother?
Bones. Well, it was actually first just Bo and Sterling, and then Sterling's like, "You should come downstairs and like hang out and watch it." And I was like,
So did your brother know that you guys were like kind of talking and stuff?
"Yeah."
Okay.
Bo did, but not my parents.
Okay.
So then it like is really late, and like we're still watching it. We just honestly just wanted to spend time together.
Yeah.
And Bo ends up falling asleep. Like literally, I'm looking at the couch. Bo is on that side of the couch, and we're here.
So like Bo's on the other side of the
Yes.
little console thing.
So Bo falls asleep, and like my stomach, guys. I don't know what was going on, but I was like the whole time. I don't have stomach issues or anything. I could not like my stomach was like like the whole night, and
No
I was
way.
like, oh my gosh, I need to fart. Like I felt like oh my gosh, it was terrible. But anyways, I was like on this side of the couch. Sterling was on this side of the couch, and he's like he kind of like hits the couch to like have me come over a little bit.
Because you guys like weren't cuddling or
We weren't
anything?
cuddling. No,
Oh,
I was
okay.
just like this scared little girl. Like, so I moved close to him, and then we ended up kissing. And like, Bo was right next to us, and we're just kissing, and like,
Like
honest,
make out or like
make out.
peck?
I'm sorry,
Make
mom.
out.
But yeah, no, we were making out, and Bo was just sleeping, and he's like, he woke up, so then we were like, got back to watching the show and stuff. And then he just went into his room because he was down here, and then I don't even know, but that was like our first kiss. Okay.
So then Bo just left you guys in here alone?
Yes, he knew we liked each other,
Yeah.
and he knew that like what's gonna really happen. But
Yeah.
I just remember that was like my first kiss, and it was so fun, and just like
Cute.
it was fun, but also I felt like I wish that I was able to go tell my mom the next day, but
Mhm.
because I was keeping it a secret, like I couldn't,
Yeah.
and it just sucked. You
Like
know?
were you just like nervous she wouldn't approve or like
Yeah, I
is that
thought
why
she
you
was.
didn't tell her?
That's why I didn't tell her
Yeah.
because I thought she was gonna say no. Because one, I was 15, and two, it was my brother's
Because
friend.
you couldn't date till you were 16.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So fast forward to summer, Aaliyah and I actually were like hanging out a lot, and she was like, I would bring her and tell my mom that I was like just hanging out with Aaliyah, but like we'd hang out with Sterling or like yeah. So like that was not good, but that happened. So then fast forward to like September, I still have not told my parents. My parents have zero clue. I cannot believe I like kept it.
Wait, like now they have no clue?
Or oh. Okay. No, like September
I
of
get it. Okay, I
2019.
thought you meant they didn't know about any of this stuff that you're talking
Oh
right
no,
now.
I don't know. I'm an open book now. I don't really.
Well, here you go, Jenny.
There you go, Jenny. If you didn't know that, that's yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, so September comes, and that's when like volleyball season's happening and all this stuff. And like I really wanted him to come to my games and all this stuff, but like he couldn't because I didn't tell my parents about this. So
That's
someone
weird.
told my mom, and so my mom had like confronted me about it a little bit because like she's like, "What's going on?"
Because
And
he had been going to your volleyball games and stuff?
he came to like one or two.
Okay.
Because of he was going as Bo's friend though.
Yeah.
So anyway, she kind of like confronts me a little bit, and I'm like, I've been wanting to tell you, but like I was scared that you guys were gonna like tell me no, which I shouldn't have done. But anyway, so I was like, can you please like just let us at least start talking and like growing a friendship and a relationship? She's like, yes, you guys can, but as long as you don't have Snapchat, because Snapchat you can't monitor that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, sounds good. Which I wish I would have just listened to that. I'm so mad at myself. But anyway, so I didn't unadd him off Snapchat, but we weren't doing anything bad. It was just like we were just snapping back and forth, and I didn't want to like delete our conversations or unadd him
Yeah.
or anything. But so we got to like date, not really date, but like be a thing for a while. And then my parents went out of town one weekend, and I asked my older brother if Sterling could come over. And he was like, I don't care. So Sterling came over in the middle of the night, which was so dumb. And we took a picture upstairs on the couch so that we could remember the night, which was, again, so dumb. And my parents, they come back from the weekend. It was great. And then they go through my phone and they see this picture of Sterling and I on the couch upstairs. And I thought I was going to die because they found it. And I was like, but no, like we didn't ever do anything. It was just, we were just being naughty. And like,
Yeah.
I was just not doing what I was supposed to do. And so they ended up finding it. They said that we were not allowed to be together because I just kept
Being sneaky.
being
and
sneaky.
Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, we were like banned from each other. Trust me, you see the rainbow, what is that called?
See the rainbow?
We saw the rainbow at the end of the tunnel. What is that? We saw
What are you talking about?
I saw
We
good.
saw the.
No, never mind. I'm
Okay.
just. So anyways, there is good at the end of this, so
Yeah.
just wait for that. But anyways, so we go through my sophomore year. That was COVID year, and during COVID, I lived with my grandparents because there was a foreign exchange student that was living at our house, and so I lived with my grandparents for a couple months, and I found a way to sneak out. Again, like what? Why am I so
And were you
stupid?
still like Snapchatting him or texting him, or how were
Yeah.
you guys communicating?
Oh yeah, like we would go to Granite and
Oh,
see each
right,
other. Oh, I forgot about that part. Okay, so
You should tell the story when you guys were at the gym. And your
Okay.
mom-
okay. So go back. Sorry. So before COVID happened, it was the Christmas break, like of 2019. So
Yeah.
before 2020, and it was Christmas break, and I had been like figuring out, oh, I'll just go to the gym and like actually just hang out with Sterling instead of actually going to the gym because I was in sports. My parents thought I was going to the gym, so I would go to the gym so that my location was there, but we wouldn't go in. We would just hang out in his car.
Yeah.
And so there was first day of Christmas break. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to give him my Christmas presents, all this stuff. So we go to the gym, and just so you know, like my sound on my phone is always on, and my Life 360, like we had it on so that I could see if my mom left.
Yeah.
And so this morning happens, and we gave each other our presents, and we go in the back of his car. And again,
Wait, this was in the morning?
this is in the morning.
Oh, I didn't know it was in the morning.
Yeah.
I thought it was at night for some
No, it
reason.
was in the
Okay.
morning. And I was like, oh yeah, she'll just think I'm like working out in the morning.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Duh.
Yeah.
What else would you be doing?
Right, exactly. So we go in the back of his car. Again, we are not doing anything. It's just comfy to just hang out there and stuff. I promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went in the back of his car, and all of a sudden he looks up. My phone is like upwards on.
Yeah.
My mom's face on Life 360 moves to Granite
Just immediately.
immediately.
And you didn't,
there
like, your
wasn't-
phone, like, refreshed and it was just
no.
there.
It was just there. She was right next to us. She gets out of the car and opens up the back of his Subaru. And oh my gosh, it was the worst feeling of my entire life. Like we were scared to death. We were just sitting there and like she's like crying and like, Mom, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay with me sharing this, but it's a part of our story, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just a really, really tough day because I got caught and I was just so
How did
sad.
your mom know?
The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit?
So if your mom has the Holy Spirit, be careful. Just kidding.
You
just
can't be sneaky.
No,
Just
don't
don't
be
be
sneaky. Just
sneaky.
listen.
Listen to your parents.
Literally. So anyways, so after that, it was like another like, oh, we got caught, whatever. it was like a restart, whatever. But then COVID happened. I found a way to sneak out of my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
I would sneak out like literally every night. It was so fun. We would just like go get Taco Bell and like
Aw,
it was so
cute.
fun. It was like a great memory. But anyways, so that went literally again like snuck out for like a whole year. It felt like it was a long time. And then there was one night where her husband
My
and
husband.
my younger brother were having a sleepover. And they were on the top of the roof for whatever reason. I don't know
I
why.
think they're just listening to music and
Yeah, I think they were
hanging out
just
up there.
vibing out there. And
I
it was
don't
like
know.
8 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm tired. I have to go to bed. This was like when I would go and sneak out. So I went downstairs and I snuck out, and I went out a different way, which I
Did you
normally.
go out like the window?
Yeah, I went out the window in there, and then I went up in the front yard. And the boys are on the top of the roof, and I like look one way, and I look another way, and then I don't have shoes on for some reason. I don't know, but I just start sprinting down our like neighborhood, and they're like, "What the heck was that, Brooke?" Because the motion light turned on. Also, it was so dumb, guys. So then I get picked up by Sterling, and that night Sterling and I watched Hereditary. Also, don't watch that movie.
That movie's scary.
Have you ever seen it? It was my
Oh.
it was my thing. Have you ever seen it?
I think so.
Oh my gosh, it is
Maybe
terrible.
I haven't. Maybe I'm thinking of Conjuring or something.
Hereditary is terrible. Literally, don't watch it.
Okay,
So
I
we
won't watch
watched
it.
that movie that night. It's a scary movie. Don't watch it. I will never do it again. But anyways, so like I got sick because that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
I get home and I hear footsteps on the roof while I'm going through the doggy door, mind you. Literally crawling through the doggy
Why
door
didn't you just open the door?
because it was like too much
Oh.
work and loud. Like I didn't want anyone to hear me.
You're just crawling through a
Literally.
doggy door.
So I finally get downstairs and I have this old iPad that's like so old from like
Yeah.
when we would do TikToks on our iPads or Musically.
Musicallys.
And I get into my room and to let Sterling know that like I'm good. All of a sudden, Blake and Jake pound into my room. They're like, "Do you want Oreos?" And I was like, "What?"
I'm sleeping.
Oh, what are you talking about? I was like pretending. It was so dumb. So then
Yeah.
I'm like, "What did you see?"
What do you
They're
know?
like, "Brooke, we literally watched you run out and come back, and we wanted to scare you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." Blake's like, "How long have you been sneaking out?" So I told them. He told someone, I don't know, maybe my older brother. So then,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna share the whole story because I don't want to get mad.
Yeah.
It still makes me mad. But anyways, someone told my mom that I'd been sneaking out, and so then again we got caught.
Yeah.
So that was just a bad season. We would just get caught, and then it was my senior year. So fast forward all the way to my senior year. I started talking to a counselor, and it was probably my junior year. I started talking to a counselor and all this stuff. Wanted to get good with my parents and with God. And then January of my senior year, I decided, you know what? Like, I really want to date Sterling, but like, I want to do it right this time.
And you're like 18, 17?
I'm 17. I'll be 18 in April.
Okay.
And so I met with our pastor and I told her, I was like, "Hey, like this is how I've been feeling. I want to date Sterling because I don't want to live life always wondering what that would have been like."
Yeah.
And so I talked to her and we had like a meeting with my parents and we discussed and decided that I'll be able to like date him under their supervision.
Yeah.
And so I was so excited. I felt like I finally made it. Oh, also, sorry, I'm like kind of back and forth.
No, you're good.
But-
I'm following. So
okay,
they're following.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so that summer of my junior year going into my senior year, I had snuck out and then I got caught by my dad. And it was such a bad feeling. Like
That was when you were coming in the doggy door.
That
right?
was literally
He
when
was
I
just like sitting inside.
yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I went on a walk." I was like, "What in the heck?" Like I had become a liar. Like it was terrible. So anyways, so after him catching me, I was like, I'm never sneaking out again. Like
Yeah,
I'm never doing it
scary.
again. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to bed." Like he was never yelled at me or anything. He just like I
Disappointed.
felt like I disappointed him so
Yeah.
much, and I knew how much I'd been hurting him and my mom. And so I decided to just give it to God because clearly my own wants and desires, it was not working. So
Mhm.
once I gave it to God, I stopped sneaking out. I stopped talking to Sterling, and he understood. Like I was lying to Sterling at the same time. Like it was a lot. So anyways, then so fast forward back to when they were like, okay, you guys can date. We started dating under their supervision. We would go bowling, we would go doing all this really fun stuff. And then he finally asked me out on May 10th. We went to bingo, and he like brought his own bingo card that has like,
Aw.
it said like, will you be my girlfriend? And then it had like the bingo slots were all like dates that we could go on.
Yeah.
And so he asked me out then, and we've been together since. And so,
So
sorry, that was so
cute.
long.
That wasn't that long.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that was really
No.
long. But yeah, so we've been together ever since. Now we have like 3 dogs together, and
So
we're
cute.
really hoping that this year we can get married.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen. I really am praying that'll happen, but he's in the middle of buying a house right now. And so I
exciting.
think after all that is done, then there's hopefully a ring. If not,
Yeah.
we're just trusting God. But like all that to say, like you'll hear with like her story as well, like be honest.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's like one piece of advice. Like I feel like I went through all of that really hard stuff so that today I can talk to younger girls who are kind of going through similar things and be like, be honest with your parents.
Yeah.
Do not lie. Like the more you lie, the easier it gets.
Mhm.
And like I used to be a liar, and now lying is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
And I hate lying, and I know when someone is lying because I
Mhm.
used to lie. And so just know that like if you're going through a hard season, you can get out of it, and like just giving it to God. Like it has to be your decision. It
Yeah.
cannot be your parents' decision. It has to be yours. And yeah, I'm not trying to like preach or anything, but
No, you're doing
I don't know.
good.
I just feel like it's really like necessary for girls, especially to hear like, just don't lie to your parents.
Yeah.
There's no fruit from it.
Because if you could go back and you wouldn't have lied and stuff.
I would
like-
not have lied at all.
Yeah.
I would never do it. Like I would never go through that again. But now looking back, I wouldn't change what happened because I'm where I am today.
Yeah.
And I feel like now I have like the closest relationship with God and with Sterling and with my parents. And like it's just cool that like
That is cool.
God brings really good fruit from really bad situations.
That's
And
good.
like, yeah. So I don't know. That's just kind of our love story.
So cute.
It sounded like more of a testimony.
Yeah, that
but,
was
like,
good though.
It's a part of my testimony,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And so, yeah, I'm just so blessed that I found Sterling. He's just so good to me, and I just love him. And I can't wait to be his wife one day and have babies.
Babies.
But yeah, anyways, that's my love story. Aaliyah, are you ready to share?
I am so ready to share.
Okay, start from the beginning.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning. So I've known Jake since I was like literally like 8 years old. I would come over here and hang out with Brooke,
Mhm.
and Jake would be hanging out with Blake, and yeah, those
Yeah.
are the two who were on the roof that caught her. when
Yes.
she was sneaking in.
Yeah.
If you don't know that.
Yeah, they're like
But-
they've been like best friends like our entire
Yeah.
lives. So
And so it's kind of fun to like look back and like Jake and I both feel like we've like grown up in this house because like we
Yeah.
would just like hang out with the Bences all the time in the basement.
why does that make me emotional?
I know, it's kind of
That's
cute.
so cute.
We're like living like part of our same childhood, but like not
Literally.
knowing each other. You know what I mean?
Dang, that's
'Cause
crazy.
Like we were like I was like, oh, like he's cooties. Like boys aren't cool at that
Yeah.
time. You're just like,
And they're like a year younger than us.
yeah. And Blake is like 2 years, 3
He's, like,
years,
3 years younger than us, yeah.
Dang.
They're just little boys.
Yeah. So Jake is a year younger than me, but. So, okay, so yeah, that's like pretty early on. Like I've just like known of him for a long time, and we never really talked or anything. I never was like interested in him. And then I had gone to a different school. I went to public school for my freshman and sophomore year. And then sophomore year is when COVID happened. So then I switched back to Billings Christian School, which is where Brooke went, and that's also where Jake went. And this was like pretty early on into like that first year. I had like a math class with Jake because I was in like the kind of like the dumb math. So I was like with people
Was
in the
I
other
in that
grade.
class?
No,
Where would I have been?
I don't know. Were you in the smart math
I didn't take a math that year.
that year, junior
Yeah.
year?
I didn't take a math. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was in a math class with him, and this was like I feel like it was like the third week of school maybe, and we had to go to a different room and have a different teacher because our teacher was gone. So it kind of turned into like a study hall where you could just do whatever you wanted, but you couldn't leave. So I was just in there with one of my friends, and then Jake and one of his friends had walked in late because they had just got in trouble with like the principal and came from the principal's office. And he's like walking in, and this is the first time I've like kind of like noticed him. I was like, dang, like when did Jake Harp like get cute and stuff? He's like tall now, and like he's
Oh
gone
my
through puberty.
gosh.
I'm like, dang, like he's like really like cute. And I don't know what took over in me, but I was like, I need to text him. So then I
And like
text
you
him.
guys hadn't talked before this,
No,
right?
we had never had a conversation before. Like seriously, even when we were little
Dang,
kids,
you're
we never
bold.
talked. Like I definitely talked more to like his brother Brad, because like he
Yeah.
was more of like my friend than
Yeah.
like Jake ever was.
Dang.
And so I text him, and I just say like, "Hey, you seem like really chill. Like we should talk more." And he responds, and he's like, "Okay." So I'm like, "Okay, that's
If
not
you
much
know
to
Jake
work
though,
with."
I feel like he's kind of dry.
He's a dry texter. And so then I'm like, "Okay,
Dang.
I'm gonna try again." And so then I'm like, "Do you have a Snapchat?" And then he's like, "No, my parents won't let me." I'm like, "Oh, like haha, like your brother has Snapchat. Like why can't you?"
I can hear you guys saying this right now. Like, oh my gosh.
And I was like, why can't you have Snapchat? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, this man is not interested in me, but I think he's really cute. Like, I'm just gonna keep trying. So then after that, I think I like, so after that, I think we actually didn't talk for a while. I was like, whatever, like, we're obviously, like, he isn't interested in girls right now. And so he was actually talking to someone else at that time. And so then I started talking to someone else because I was like, whatever. And then my thing like ended, and then I think him and that girl he was talking to were still kind of talking, but then I started texting him again, and I think I just randomly reached out again. I was like, "Hey, like, how are you?"
Do you remember like when that was of the
I
year?
don't. I think it was like October or November maybe.
Oh, okay.
So then I'm like reaching out to him more, and he just is still like super dry. So I was like, I'm just gonna like keep texting him and like just be really annoying because I like really thought he was really cool, and I was like, he's super smart. Like I know his family. He comes from a really good family. Like he's definitely a good guy, and I had never like liked a good guy. Like all the guys that I had liked in the past were like way different than Jake. So I was like, this is like a really good guy, and like no other girls like. Okay, that sounds mean. I'm not trying to offend you, Jake. That sounded really mean. I did not mean it like that. But he wasn't like talking to a bunch of girls. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like texting and Snapchatting like 10 girls at the same time to see which one he liked the most, like stuff like that. So then I was like, I really like him. I'm just going to keep texting him. So then I start texting him like good morning, literally every morning. And like that's something you do when you're like talking.
What got into you?
I don't know. Like I just like my body just like knew like I was going to marry him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like my brain was just like text him. I don't know.
Dang, but what if you hadn't?
I know.
That's insane.
Like, yeah, I don't know if we would have been talking now. So then I keep texting him good morning, and this is like, what sport is in the fall? Volleyball?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then it's like Spirit Week, and I remember I like dressed up as Stitch for like a character day or something.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'd sent him like pictures of me like as Stitch in the mirror, and I was like, "Is this look cute?"
And he's still talking to this other girl?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so he like at this point he's like actually getting more like interested in me. Like we're actually having like long conversations. It's not just like, "Hey, how are you? Good." Like whatever.
But like
we're actually talking.
He was just trying to be respectful to the other girl,
Yeah,
probably.
I think so. Because then at some point he started talking to me about the other girl.
Oh, okay.
And so then I was kind of like just more of like his friend. Like we were just like friends.
You're like, bro.
I know. I was in the friend zone because I was like, I really like him, and he's telling me all about this other girl, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. I'll hold off.
Just wait your turn, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just waiting. And so then I like help him through the situation with the other girl, and they end up like stop talking. Like they didn't actually date. Like they didn't like kiss or hug or anything like that.
Did he ever have any girlfriends before you, or was it all
He
just
kinda
kind of
had, like,
thing?
2, but they were not like girlfriends. It was
Yeah.
just like things. And so then he stops talking to that girl, and then we start like kind of talking, like just like more like friends. I don't know how to explain it.
Started it off
Like
friends. That's good.
neither of us said like we like each other or
Yeah.
anything like that. And then we also like I don't think we would really even talk at school. Like I
Oh,
think we were
really?
kind of like a little bit awkward. Like we would just talk like a lot like over text like after school, and then
I mean,
at
it is
school we would just be
easier
like,
too. It's
so
like, oh, you're my crush.
for real.
Yeah.
So then we were in like the same friend group for a while. So then that's when we started to like hang out. And then we both kind of started to realize that we would only go to the friend hangouts to like hang out with each other. Like we still liked all those friends and stuff, but it was like, dang, like I just want to hang out with her, and he just wants to hang out. Wait, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like we just wanted to be with each other. And so then we're still like talking, but his parents like they didn't let him date or anything. So kind of like a similar situation. Like he wasn't allowed to date
Yeah.
until he was like 16, I think. I don't know if they had an age for it. I actually don't know.
Well, they keep going
Well, they
because wasn't it just randomly
what?
when you guys could date?
Yeah, kind of.
His birthday's January.
Yeah,
and-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that there was like an age he could date. It was just like when like the timing was right or something like that. And so then we're still talking, and then what is this? This is still my junior year. And then at my, oh, should I tell them the story about my birthday party? Like the first time we hung out alone?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would have been my 17th birthday party. I had like a surprise birthday party type of thing. And it was like dancing in my garage. Like, I don't know. Were you at that birthday party?
Yeah, I was.
Like everyone was just dancing. So that was the first time we ever like touched because we were like dancing together, and it's actually really cute.
I remember that.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we're like touching.
I remember just like
dancing.
sitting because like obviously I was just like
Yeah, you were just
thinking
hanging
about
out.
Sterling, and so I was just like watching, and I'm like, they're so cute
Yeah.
together.
I remember we like learned this one dance where I like push him and then he like pulls me back in, and like the tension, I was like, I'm like, I want to kiss you so bad.
Oh.
But so then that happened, and then everybody left besides Jake, and I was like, you should just like stay like a little bit later. And I like wanted to show him something in my room, and so then I was like, we should just like go to my room, and he was like kind of like what? Like this is our first time like being alone ever, and you're
like, let
me
me bring you to my room really
literally
quick.
like, come here. So we
Poor
go into
kid.
my room, and then I shut the door because I didn't want like my parents to see us in there, because my room was like right next to like my parents' room, like
What
right
did you
across the hallway.
think? What did you think they were thinking?
I don't know. It's not like we were kissing or anything.
Right.
Like we hadn't kissed or anything yet. And so
Dang.
then like he's like sitting on my bed and just like so uncomfortable, like just freaking out. Like he wanted to get out of there so bad. I don't even know what we were doing in there. And then
Was he just thinking like he was gonna get into trouble or something? Or what?
probably? Because then I think my mom came in and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then I think my mom was like, "Okay, like I think it's time for Jake to go home."
I can see her doing that.
So then Jake went
Dang.
home, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know why I had to go to my room." So stupid. I don't know what I was doing.
Does Rachel know that?
I don't know. If she listens to the podcast, she will
Rachel.
know now. Sorry, Rachel.
Sorry.
So then I remember my mom, after Jake left, like gave me this whole talk, like, Jake is a good guy. Like, you should not have like let him in your room. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I seriously have no idea why I did that, but I remember she was like, he's like a really good guy. Like, he does not want to go in your bedroom.
Dang, that's funny.
So then that happened. So then after that, it was like prom time, and I hadn't been asked yet, and a lot of other people had been asked, and I was like, okay, Jake is like not gonna ask me.
Do you know what his holdup was? What time?
No, it was like pretty early, like,
Oh, okay.
because I think that was like March or something.
Yeah, because I didn't go to that prom.
Yeah.
I was in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So then Jake hadn't asked me yet, and I'd like told my mom that like nobody had asked me to prom yet, and then she told one of her other mom friends who like her son is in my class.
Also, mind you, that our school had
So small.
so small. We had like 18 people in our class.
Yeah. Like
So it is a very small school.
super small.
Yeah.
And so she had told one of her like mom friends, and then that mom friend was like, "Oh, my son hasn't gone to prom, or like he hasn't asked anyone either." And so like my mom and this other mom kind of like set up that we should go together. So then I'm sitting in English class, and this boy walks in, and he's like, "Hey, Leah, I need to talk to you." And I've never talked to this guy before. Like,
Did you know this is gonna happen?
like a little bit, and I was freaking out the entire school day because I'm like, I'm gonna say no. I don't want to go with him. I'm gonna say no. So he
Oh
pulls me
my
out in the hallway,
gosh.
super awkward, and he says like, my mom said that like your mom said that you didn't get
my
asked. Literally, my mom said that you didn't get asked to prom, so I'm gonna ask you to prom. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No, that was literally how it went though, and I was so nervous, and I could tell he was really nervous, and I felt really bad. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like I think I just was like, sure. And then he was like, okay. And then I was like, okay.
Knowing who it is too, it makes
No.
it so much better. Oh
So
my
then I go
gosh.
back to class, and I'm just kind of like, what just happened? And I'm like freaking out. So then I tell Jake that like after the school day is over, I text him and I'm like, hey, like just so you know, like this guy asked me to go to prom. And then Jake is like, oh, like I was gonna ask you. And I was like, okay, then like why didn't you? Type of thing.
No, literally.
But then
what
I was like,
hold up.
And so then I was like, Jake, like what should I do? Like I really don't want to go with him. Like I would so much rather go with you. Like at this point I think we'd said that we liked each other. And so then Jake helps me like make a nice text out to this guy, like saying like, hey, I'm sorry that I said yes, but I actually don't really want to go with you, but like in a
Dang.
nice way.
Yes.
Yeah, so then we text him, and then like I don't know, like a week later or something, Jake and I were at youth group. Like we would hang out at youth group a lot and like always sit by each other. That was like the only time we could really hang out because his parents still like didn't let us hang out alone or anything.
Did his parents know that you liked him?
Yeah.
Or like that you liked each
Like
other?
I think they knew that we liked each other.
Yeah.
Because I remember he had gone to March Madness that year, and that was in like San Diego, and he was
Mhm.
like begging his parents to like let us date, and then they were like, no, like not yet, type
Oh,
of thing.
okay. Gotcha.
And so then we would hang out at like school and youth group like when we could, and then after youth group, he was like, we should go skateboarding like behind Shields, which our Shields is like kind of like a bigger Shields than normal, and it has like a lake behind it, and like I don't know, a lot of
It's
places
like the
to like
place to
skateboard.
go hang out
Yeah,
sometimes.
and it's only like 2 minutes away from our church.
Mhm.
So then I'm like, yeah, like that would be fun. So Jake and I, and then two of our other friends, we were all like skateboarding, and then I like kind of knew he was gonna ask me to prom, but I was like a little scared. And then I like come around this corner, and I look over, and he's like standing there with like this cute sign, and it says
Aw.
like, I know it's a long shot, but I don't want you to get bored, like want to go to prom or whatever. And then he had bought like we had like matching longboards, I think.
No, that was like when longboards were like
Yeah, it
the
was, like,
thing.
the
You guys would go
thing.
like downtown. I feel
Yeah,
like.
I was a big
Dang.
longboarder.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
got
but-
into it. I was too distracted.
You know what's sad? I've never been on a hoverboard before.
What?
I've never like had a hoverboard or like been on a hoverboard.
I've only been on one like a couple times, but
I
I've
was
tried
like
them.
telling Jake, I was like really sad the other night because I'm like, I've never been on a hoverboard, and now it's like way not cool anymore.
I think they're still
I'm
cool.
like, I'm gonna buy some for our kids so I can hoverboard. Get that off the bucket
You
list.
just chase honey with it.
For real. Anyway,
Get
but
your
yeah, that was
exercise.
when longboarding was really cool. And so he asked me like that, and then we went to prom together. We got matching shoes. I wore like a white prom dress, and
No, like it was so cute.
was
You guys,
really
you had
cute.
matching glasses too.
we like were like in love,
No,
but
that
we
was so
hadn't
cute.
kissed yet, and we hadn't said I love you. Like we just were two friends who like really liked each other, but we knew we couldn't date, so we didn't want to like start anything that we like couldn't finish. You know what I mean? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Huh?
Did that make sense?
No, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So after prom, that's like what is prom? April or May?
April or May. Probably
Somewhere in there.
April-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we finished that school year, and then we're still like talking and having fun. We're only hanging out in friend groups, and then on 4th of July, we always go to like the next town over. It's called Laurel. I mean, most people who listen to this live in Valley.
Probably, yeah.
But we go to like the Laurel fireworks show. But we were going with like a giant group of like our friends and family, like our families and like Jake's family. Like everyone is kind of like we're all like a family
It's like
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we all like do things together and stuff. So then we were trying to like he was texting one of my friends to try to like set up a way for us to like sneak away from all the parents so like he could kiss me for the first time. And I didn't really know this. So there was just like all this like weird tension and drama. Like all the parents are like, why are you guys like wanting to take another car? Like why aren't you wanting to sit by us? And then we're just like kind of like, you know, at that age you're just kind of like, oh, like parents, like
No, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I get it.
so we get to like the fireworks show, and we sit behind this like shed. Like we're not actually on like the firework area.
Is this at the high
It's,
school?
like, far away. Kind of, but it's like a few streets down.
Oh, okay.
It's just like they sit like further away.
Gotcha.
And so we find this like shed. So then the shed is here, and all the parents are like sitting behind the shed. So we have like a divider basically.
Yeah.
And my friend is like being like a wingman because he didn't want to kiss me if his friend was watching. I don't know why. He just didn't want to get in trouble or anything.
Yeah.
So we're like laying back, like leaning on the shed, and then our other two friends are kind of in front of us, and we're listening to like this song that we like really like. Like we're just like obsessed with the song. Like it's a super cute song.
What is it?
I forgot the name.
I actually forgot the song.
I actually don't even know. We're listening to this song, and then I can just like feel him like trying to like lean forward to like try to like kiss me, and I'm like, you need to help him out because he had never kissed a girl before.
Was he like? Were you like side by side?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like sitting on him like this, and he has his arm like around me, like
Cute.
yeah. So like we're
Okay,
like
cute.
I'm like laying on him, so he's behind me, so it would
Yeah.
be hard for him to like reach all the way around
Yeah,
and kiss me.
Yeah.
So then I kind of like leaned my head back and like looked at him, and then we kissed.
Stop.
was
That's
so
actually
cute.
so cute.
It was really cute, and like
Aw.
4th of July is my favorite holiday
No,
too. So it's just like
same.
a cute date to have your first kiss on.
Aw, that's so cute.
So that was our first kiss, and I don't know how like everybody found out that we kissed, but like his parents found out, and I think that they were pretty mad because like we weren't even allowed to date or anything. But like keep in mind like that's July, and we started talking like January probably, like
That's a long
serious.
time. I
To
only
wait
waited
till-
like a month.
I know it's a long time
Yeah.
to wait for your
Yeah.
first kiss.
Totally.
So then throughout that whole summer, we're just still hanging out with friends and stuff. We still can't hang out alone. And then we enter the new school year. I'm a senior now, and he's a junior. And it was October 13th, I think. His parents sorry, his parents said that we could finally date. So then he's like, we can finally date. Like, I'm gonna take you out on a date.
I want to know the reasoning.
I
Why
don't
that day?
know.
Like, I wonder if like it
They were
was
just
just
like,
like,
okay.
yeah, I wonder
I
what
don't
it
know.
was.
Because we were still like, after we had first kissed, we obviously were kissing that whole time. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That was
you
like
can't-
your. Was that senior year that you guys could date?
Yeah.
then? Okay. Okay.
So then that day comes around. He takes me out to like a steakhouse. He asked me to be his girlfriend. And then we're driving around. His parents have like a convertible. And he had picked me up in that, which was really cute. And we're like driving on like the back roads of our town. And we're listening to the song like called Roses, like by the Chainsmokers. We're just like blasting out like
that
our
was
arms
like when
are
we
out.
were like 14.
Okay, so we're listening to that song, we're driving around, and we like have the music all the way up, and then I just like scream like, I love you. It was like out of a movie. It was so cute. And then he kind of like tears up and he says, I love you back. And then,
That's
because
so
that was like the first day
sweet.
we were like boyfriend and girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, it's been like 10 months and like, I don't know, like 5 months since we kissed for the first time and we still hadn't said I love you. So I said I love you first,
cute.
but he did say it back at the same night.
Aw, I love
So
that.
that was cute. And then we were able to date. And then like a week later, literally a week later, it's like just a short amount of time of just pure bliss and love. And it's just so cute. We could finally date. And it was like sports season. So like we're playing volleyball and he's on the soccer team. And it's our very last like tournament. It's like the state tournament where like all the teams throughout the state come together. And it's in like a town that's like what, like 8 hours away, 6 hours away.
Was this Kalispell?
Yeah, it was in Kalispell.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Oh,
we're
yeah,
in
it was.
Kalispell, and like for these tournaments, like you don't stay with your parents or anything. You stay with like your teammates. So it was like me, my friend, and then we had like 2 younger girls in our room too. Like
Are
that's
those
just
like
usually-
buddies? Was it a buddy system?
Yeah, it was our buddies, I think.
Okay.
And so the other 2 girls were like freshmen, I think probably. They're like Blake's grade.
No, they're a year older, right?
Oh, yeah, they are.
Sophomores. I
Yeah,
think
so
that
it's
year.
sophomores and seniors. And like right across like kitty corner to our room is Jake's room. Just right there. And there's no like coaches around us or anything, no parents. And my friend, who was the other senior, she was actually talking to one of the guys in Jake's room. And then they only had like one more guy in their room. And so then the first night, like everyone's like, yeah, you guys should like sneak out. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, guys, I've never done anything like that. I literally had never snuck out of like my own house or anything like that. And I'm like, I do not want to get in trouble. And then like the 2 younger girls were like, no, like I know people do it like all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it then. Like if everyone
I did
else
not
has done
know
it,
that.
yeah,
I was such a goody. I could never sneak
I
out.
know
I'd be
it's
so scared.
scary as you crawl into the dog.
As I sneak out of my house.
I could
mean,
never sneak
I
out.
could never do that. I mean,
No,
at
getting in
sports,
trouble at school is
at
scary.
school, yeah.
And so this is like a 2 or 3 night long like trip. I think it's 3 nights, isn't it? It's like a long tournament.
It's like 3 or 4.
yeah, it's a long thing. And so I think we didn't the first night, but then the second night, me and my friend were like, yeah, like they should just come over like to our room for a little bit. Like it's only like 10 o'clock or something. So they come over and we're all just like watching like Family Feud, like very innocent. And then they like go back, and then the next night we're like, that was really fun. Like we should go to their room this time. So me and my friend, we go to their room. We're like hanging out in there, like just like kind of talking and like hanging out. Literally like nothing bad or anything. And then the third night, Jake comes to our room, but my friend goes to the other guy's room. And keep in mind, those like 2 other girls are still in the room with us too. Like it's not
Did
like
you
we're
guys
gonna
like
do
have a
anything
game
weird.
plan if something like a teacher or
No.
Gosh,
No, there was like
that
no
stresses
thinking.
me out.
I know, it was scary. And so we're watching like I'm pretty sure we were watching Family Feud again. We were watching some show with like the other 2 girls in our room. And then like it got pretty late, so then we turn off the TV, and I think that Jake and I are just like laying in the bed, like literally not doing anything wrong or anything bad. Like the other people are in the room with us, and we fall asleep. Yeah, we fall asleep, and my friend and the other guy also fell asleep. And so then Jake wakes up. No, I think my friend from the other room had woke up, and it's like 4 a.m., like 5 a.m. And she comes in there and she's like, guys, like, it's like 5 in the morning. Like, Jake, you need to go back to your room, and I need to like be in here. And so then he leaves, and like we don't get caught or anything.
Yeah.
Like we're just chilling. We finished the volleyball tournament. Like
Yeah.
it's sad. It's our senior year, our last volleyball game. And then we get back home, and now I remember the day. It was like right before Halloween. I was Halloween shopping with one of my friends because like she was getting a costume, and I'm in her car, and my mom calls me, and I'm like, hey. And then she's like, what happened at state? And I'm like, I don't know. I was
Shut
like,
up.
yeah, literally my heart just like sinks, and my mom just goes like, "You need to come home right now. Like, Elle needs to take you home right now." That was my friend, and I'm like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
So then I call Lily, like my friend, and I'm like, they know, and she's like, no, they don't. I'm like, no, they know. They literally know.
I feel anxiety right now.
I know, it was so scary.
Oh
I'm
my
like, they
gosh.
know. Like, my mom just told me, like, what happened at state, and then she said, you need to come home right now.
Oh
Like,
my
they know.
gosh.
So then I'm texting Jake, and, like, he is not texting me back. And I'm like, oh,
What are you
no.
saying?
Like, just like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, call me. And he's, like, not calling me. Like, not answering at all. And I'm like, okay, so his mom obviously was probably the first one to know because she was our volleyball coach. I'm so sorry, Rachel.
It's okay. She's your mother-in-law now. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
she's
She
amazing.
forgives.
Yeah, she forgives, but I'm sorry for
Oh my
17-year-old me who did that. And yeah.
Dang.
So then I'm like, well, he's obviously screwed. And the other guy I didn't really know that well, and I don't think his parents really cared. And so then I go home and I get this like whole lecture, and I'm like, okay, that sucks.
Did you end up telling them, or did they tell you?
They like told me that they know, and then they were like, tell me everything, like what happened. And so then I
Yeah.
told them what I just told you guys, like it was super innocent, like we were just hanging out, like we had accidentally fallen asleep, whatever. And so then I'm like, are you guys gonna like tell the school? And then my mom was like, well, like Rachel has to because she's the volleyball coach,
Yeah.
and her like son is involved. And I'm like,
Dang.
okay. So then we go to school the next day, and I'm just like so out of it. I have like a permanent, like that stomach ache thing, just a permanent. That word sounds funny. I just have like a stomach ache the whole day. I'm sitting in Bible class, like just trying not to cry, just like sitting there, like I literally hate my life. I know that they're gonna
Yeah.
call me to the office any second, and then
Oh,
like the
that gives
principal
me-
comes in and she grabs me, and I'm just like just dead on the inside, like. Okay, I'm obviously gonna get like suspended. Like something is gonna happen.
Were they mad, or did they like? Were they like, Aaliyah, can you come here? Were they like?
They were
"Aaliyah."
just like, Aaliyah, I need to talk to you.
Ugh,
Follow me
That's
type of thing.
disgusting. I can't.
Yeah. So then
Oh my gosh.
they like take us like individually. So we didn't even like none of us saw each other. So like individually they like took us all and then like told us all of our punishments. They said that we have out of school suspension for 1 day and then in school suspension for 3 days. So like the day out of school suspension was like kind of sick.
I know.
Because
I
they couldn't
remember.
talk to Jake.
I remember that day you and Lily were at like Walmart or Walgreens or somewhere. I can't remember. And I ran into you.
Yeah.
And Aaliyah actually thought that I was the snitch.
Yeah, I thought she was the snitch.
And I wasn't, but she blocked me on Snapchat. And I was like,
Everyone was just telling me it was you, so I was like,
no,
Frick,
I would
Brooke.
be mad too. I would be mad too. But then I like ran into them and I was so scared because like they thought I was the snitch.
Yeah.
And so I was like, do you guys know who told? Like,
it wasn't me.
it wasn't me. And like then I feel like after that you unblocked
Yeah,
me
I
and then
think
we
I
were
did.
good. But I was like so scared to see you guys. Like when I saw you, I was like,
Just
and I was like, it'll look so bad if I just walk away.
Yeah,
So
for
I'm glad I went up to you guys. But
yeah, okay, so they like, yeah, so we had out of school suspension and then in school suspension, and that like freaking sucked. We had to read like this whole handbook thing, like just sitting there for like 8 hours a day doing nothing
Ugh.
is like literally torture.
Oh yeah.
That should be illegal, actually.
Yeah, that's
It was
terrible.
horrible. And so then after that happened, they told me that I couldn't walk at graduation. I couldn't go on our senior trip. I got kicked off of student council, and then I got kicked out of like being a leader at my house group because it was like me and this other
You couldn't
senior
do
girl.
sports, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't play basketball. That was the only other sport that they had because volleyball was over. But if it would have still been volleyball, I wouldn't have been able to play volleyball anymore, which would have been so
That
sad.
would have sucked.
Yeah, your last year of ever playing volleyball.
That's terrible.
That would have sucked.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I wasn't a big basketball person because that would
Yeah.
have sucked too.
Yeah.
But then they told the two junior boys that they couldn't have played soccer next year, which was like so sad. Because that's their last year of playing soccer and they've been playing their whole life. Horrible.
Oh,
And I don't think I could go to like prom. Like I couldn't do any like out of school
Yeah.
activity
I remember that.
type of thing. And so I'm like, okay, my last year of high school is going to be like literal hell.
She did this TikTok at the beginning of the year of like everything that she wants to accomplish or whatever. And then right after this happened, she's like, psych, senior year isn't over, but this is what happened so far. And then just like names everything that
yeah, it was
happened.
horrible.
And yeah, can't walk for graduation, can't go to prom,
Can't do the senior trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And I
dang,
remember on there,
that.
it was like dye my hair lighter, and I dyed my hair black.
No, she went black.
So much going on. black hair.
Black hair.
It's not because my hair is dark now. I just want to go dark again.
She's good. She's good.
Yeah, I'm good. Everything is good.
Yeah.
So then, his parents actually said that we couldn't date anymore either, which that was like the biggest punishment out of all of them. I'm like, dang, we had 2 weeks of dating and like we won't be able to date for a long time because this was like a big no, like big whoopsie.
Yeah.
And so then, like basically, we were able to appeal most of the things, and I did get to go on my senior trip and walk at graduation, and Jake was able to play soccer senior year, so we did get some of those things like back, but some of them like I couldn't go back on student council or be like.
Which honestly,
I know it was pretty boring.
Student council was terrible.
Yeah, for
I
real.
hated it. I
don't know why I did that.
I think it's because we were just in it together.
Yeah.
And then when
Because
you
were
were
we
out-
the student reps or whatever?
Yeah, for some-
I think we just were like, yeah, we can be friends together. We can do it. We're just girls.
That was awful. I was like, I hated it every time. I was
For
like,
real.
this is so dumb. You don't even listen to what we want to do.
And it would like be your whole lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
You just have to just sit there and listen to like.
why did we do this?
I know, it was pretty good. Who took my spot when I got kicked off?
I don't think anyone did.
No? You
No.
were just the only one?
I was the only rep.
I'm sorry.
I said, I was like, I can't make it today. I'm sorry.
Just every week.
Yeah.
So, where was I at?
So then fast forward.
Oh yeah, we couldn't date, and then fast forward to all that. We got through that, and then
Prom.
Yeah, it was April. So that happened in October, and we couldn't start dating again until April. And like we were being sneaky, like also going to the gym parking lot and like saying we were working out when we weren't, and just typical teenage lies because we
I
really
wonder how many people say they go to Granite and then
just make out with their
Yeah.
boyfriend or girlfriend.
like literally don't go
For real,
inside.
it's probably insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're like still dating that whole time because like we're genuinely in love at that point. We'd said I love you. We were like together basically, and then his parents let us date again like the day of prom. So then I remember we were like a prom group with her and Sterling,
Yeah.
and I was like, Brooke, look, and I just like kissed Jake in front of like my parents and his parents, and you guys are kind of like.
I was like, are you like, what's
And I was like, we can date now, and
Yeah.
it was like this cute thing because you guys were dating at that time.
No, he hadn't asked me yet.
How
It was
did you
May.
guys get to go to prom? Because you guys were able
we
to.
were dating. He wasn't my boyfriend though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
We were dating though.
So we went to prom with Brooke and Sterling.
We weren't kissing yet though.
No. But I
No,
was
we
able to
weren't
kiss
kissing.
Jake.
We were just dating. Like we were like super innocent because we wanted to do it.
Yeah, do it the right way.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh.
But then we were able to start dating again, and then I decided that after I graduated, I was like, I'm gonna move like 19 hours away and go to college.
I'm still to this day. It was her birthday that she announced that she was gonna go,
Yeah.
and well, you guys weren't dating at your birthday yet, so maybe you were just I don't know what you were thinking.
I think I was thinking like, I don't know if we're gonna last, and I didn't want to just like stay in town while he's still in school.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like, yeah, I'll go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we only had like basically that whole summer to like actually be boyfriend and girlfriend that time, and it was a lot of fun. We went to like Oregon together, and we like hung out literally every single day. And then I went to college at like the beginning of August. Didn't see him again until October. I came home and surprised him. And then Christmas I came home, and then he had visited me once when I was in Oklahoma, like after that. And
Was
then
that like Valentine's Day or something?
it was Valentine's Day, and then I met him in Denver because his family was in Denver.
I think my family was
like-
there too.
Yeah, Blake
Yeah.
was there for March Madness. So then I saw him only like 4 times technically, but like multiple days in there.
That's crazy.
I know,
I
it's
couldn't-
crazy.
I couldn't.
So the long distance thing like really, really sucked because I like failed all of my classes. I would never go to school because we would just call like all night long, and I was just like, I hate being here. I literally just miss you so much. Like it was good though. I really liked my job and I liked being on my own. Like I learned a lot and stuff, but it was hard on like the relationship, but it also made us like way stronger. And at that point, I was like very like I want to marry him like right out of high school. I'm like I'm so ready to get married now. I've lived on my own, but he was very like I haven't lived on my own, and like
yeah, he didn't get that experience.
yeah,
yet.
he was like 18 still, like hadn't even graduated at that point. So then I moved back home in like May probably, and then he
I
graduated
was
high
so
school.
happy when you got home
I know.
because I knew you weren't going back,
Yeah,
and I was
I'm
like,
so glad I didn't
thank
go
God
back.
she's back because I missed you so much.
Yeah, moving home was so good for me.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, we are still dating all summer. Everything is really good. And then in February of 2024, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So last February, almost like a year ago, is when he proposed to me. And then we'll do like a proposal story after Brooke gets proposed. So I
Yeah,
won't touch
yeah.
on that. But he
Okay.
proposed to me in February, and then we got married in August. So we had a 6-month-long engagement. And then we got married and we went on honeymoon. We'll also do a honeymoon episode. That would be
Yes.
fun. So I won't tell any
And
details about the
wedding,
honeymoon.
all that stuff.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. So it was amazing. And now we've been married for like 6 months, and we were engaged almost a year ago, and everything is amazing now.
I have a doggy that you
I
take care of.
know. We have a little fur baby in our
Yeah.
house, and
That's awesome.
I love being married and I love being a wife, and it was all worth it. Like all of that, like just wanting to date so badly and not being able to, like kind of similar to your story. Like
Mhm.
it sucks in the moment, but when you look back at it, you're like, wow, I learned so much about that, and like,
Do you have any advice for any of the girls that are listening? Like, that you learned while you were going through all of that or anything?
yeah, honestly, just be like truthful and trusting. Like usually, like parents do know better than you, and like they really just do want the best for you in your life.
Stephanie and Jenny, can you believe we're saying that?
I know. I'm so sorry to Stephanie,
You guys-
Travis, Jenny, Gordy, Todd, and Rachel. We love you
Wow,
guys.
you've raised such wise women.
We're so wise.
We're
now.
so wise.
No, I genuinely do feel sorry to like all the people.
Same.
But I'm like, they're here to help
Public
us.
apology.
For real.
Here's our public
That should
apology.
be the name of our episode,
Okay.
public apology. No, Brooke and I really have changed a lot, and
Yeah.
we're super appreciative of all like the mentors and the people who have helped us get to where we are,
Totally.
and like how happy we are with her and Sterling and me and Jake. And really is amazing like what God can do, and like when you meet your person, like you genuinely do know. Like Jake and I knew from a very young age, and you and Sterling knew from a very young age, which is super rare to both of us be
No,
with
totally.
our high school sweetheart. But it was worth like the wait and all of that, and it was hard, but it was worth it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love it.
And I definitely encourage waiting till marriage too.
Oh, yes.
Like, cause we were together for like 3 years and we waited until marriage.
it's
and it was-
hard. It's so difficult,
Yeah.
but like it'll be
It
so
was
worth
so
it.
worth it.
Yeah. I love it. I'm so glad that
Yeah.
I got to hear your story again.
Yeah. Sorry,
and-
that was like really long.
No, guys, they want the long
yeah,
episodes.
they want the long episodes.
And I just love story time. So I hope
Yeah,
you
that
guys
was
enjoyed
fun.
this video too. This episode.
Yeah.
I keep saying video.
oh, this video, an episode.
Yeah, if you're watching this or listening, whatever. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with the group?
I don't, but if you guys want to give us any ideas for future podcast episodes, like we will literally do anything that you guys say.
Literally.
We literally love you guys so much.
We literally love you so much. So
Please give us things to do because we do anything.
We'll do it. No, like last week was so chaotic, but like I felt like it
Yeah.
was good.
That
Like
was
you
good
guys saw who we are.
Yeah.
But I like the more like structured videos of like
Mhm.
our stories and stuff.
That
So
was fun.
if you guys have any other videos or podcast
Yeah.
ideas that you guys want us to do, let us know.
For real.
But other than that, thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll
Yeah,
just see
we
you
love
next
you
time.
guys.
Yes, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. We had so much fun making it.
We love you guys so much, and if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening or watching on, and also be sure to follow us on Instagram at SIP&SIT Podcast, and on there you will find our personal social medias as well. Thank you guys so much. We really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.